Cheers. We made it. We did it, everybody. We hit 100% Kickstarter. Woo! Oh my gosh. It's done. Thank you so much to LOL Hype for his little video there to talk a little bit about where we're at with our Kickstarter, because boys, we did it, ladies and gentlemen. We are fully funded, and we are so close. Oh my gosh, we are so close to that tier 1. It's the stretch goal. The stretch goal. We are so close to that. It's insane how close we are to it. So if you guys have no idea what the stretch goal is at all, well, you need to jump over to the Kickstarter and find out, first off, because holy dang. But to summarize very briefly, it's an ancient rift, which is a portal that opens up in the end game that will make a procedurally generated explorative mode for you to encounter big boss fights with massive rewards for all your sweet, sweet looting goodness. Oh my gosh, it's almost like a sliver of Everspace 1 plugged into Everspace 2. Can we reach it? I think we can. We got 4 hours left of this Kickstarter and we need like less than $4,000. Oh my gosh, that would be absurdly awesome. Huh. How is everybody doing? I see activity on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I don't see an activity on Mixer, but that's okay. We're streaming there too. Oh, we're out there for everybody. So much love and support. You guys, oh my gosh, what an adventure it has been. Goodness gravy. I know a lot of you guys were really just like, whoo, oh man, it's going to be close. And you know what? It kind of was. It's a little close. It was a little close, but we made it. We made it, and we are doing great. Oh my gosh, guys. So I have a couple little things to show you guys. Nothing, I don't think anything super crazy new other than just sharing. We did it. We did it. I mean, obviously we're going to go over the update from the Kickstarter today. Just kind of going over just a couple more things. We also have a fan video, which is also by LOL Buy that I wanted to show you guys because I think it's pretty nice. And otherwise, we're also going to be showing a lot of really nice, a lot of little nuances and details of Everspace 2 and what you can be looking forward to. If you guys haven't joined the Discord yet, haven't followed us on Twitter, stuff of that nature, I do implore you to do so. That's where we're going to be giving a lot of shout outs to you guys for all of the awesomeness that you have accomplished, and also just having casual conversations with you guys. We make fun of you a little bit, and it's a good time. We have some really good banter in there, and that's also going to be open up into so much more. Some people have pointed out and have been asking me already, like, hey, where's my backer role? I supported you guys on Everspace 2, like, where's my channel? I get this dev channel access. It's all coming in time. We are getting those things set up as as of right now. So we still have a little bit more time with the Kickstarter. Once that's done, we will probably solidify all those elements this week. So by the end of this week, you will have your backer status. You will have your unique Discord channel. At least that's the hope. That's the goal. We'll see if we can make that happen, and it'll be good stuff. So, oh my gosh. Wow. So let's get into Everspace 2. I know that there's still people out there who have yet to see what this is all about. You know what? Let's start off with the tutorial of Everspace 2. I feel like that's going to do us just a little bit more justice. So we're going to dive into this. For anyone and everyone who has no idea what Everspace 2 is, let's start from the top and work our way down. Oh my gosh. Whew, I'm just so excited. This has been so great. Everybody in the chat's just saying congratulations, freaking awesome. You did it. Oh my God, seriously, thank you. We did it. There's your correction for the day. We did it. We are making this together. It is through your funding and through your support that we can bring this to life and the maximum capacity to do so. So thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Shave your head. Oh gosh, I probably do need to shave, don't I? Oh my gosh, I didn't shave and my hair's all like, oh my goodness. Oh, I was too excited. I couldn't sleep last night. Oh, no worries. All right, so we're going to get right into this. Everspace 2. This is an arcadey space shooter, kind of a looter shooter in space. Think like Diablo in space, Destiny-ish in space, right? Except it's an open world RPG. All right, this is very different from what we did before in Everspace 1, which was, actually, sounds really low. Hang on a second. Whew. Rip headphone users. All right, there we go. It's very different from Everspace 1, which used a roguelike formula. So anytime you died, you would lose all of your progression to the end level, and you would have to start back at Sector 1. We've scrapped that genre. We've moved away from that genre, and now in Everspace 2, it's open world RPG. So when you die, instead of starting all the way over, now you will resume from like some sort of checkpoint. You'll still have all that sweet loot that you've gathered. You'll keep progressing forward from there. So it'll be good. Just under 11k euros to the stretch goal. Hey, that's incredible. Yeah, I honestly think that we can make it, and if you guys are crazy enough, heck, we might even be able to reach the next stretch goal. I don't know. It's 4 hours. That's a lot of time. All right. I think that we potentially could do it, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Beard update, please. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I wish I could get Michael on here in a webcam. That would be great. I'm really curious as to what he looks like too now. But for those of you who don't know, Michael, the CEO of Rockfish Games, has been growing his beard until the Kickstarter concludes. So we only have a couple hours left. I really am curious what his beard looks like, but we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Okay. Kickstarter stretch goal number 2, loot boxes and pay-to-win weapons DLC. Get the heck out of here with that garbage. Heck no, we are not doing that. Oh, not even close. Gross. All right, let's get into this tutorial. For all of those new to Everspace, we only recently showed this off. Let's have an adventure. To start things off, you are being ordered by a 4-man in the G&B faction to escort a group of miners, all these guys here, through this asteroid. And we're going to be... I'm just basically protecting them so that they can mine the rich yield that's located in here. You can also see this is very telling of a work in progress build because this anemone, for example, this is completely blocked out. So we still have a lot of work to do on the developmental side of things, but we have very large interior spaces this time around. So this entire mission, you'll actually see us flying entirely inside of a large asteroid and partial bits of a base. Very new and different. We also do have a cockpit mode that we are working on. You can see it right here, right now. So for anyone who's kind of wondering, ooh, that was kind of a cool effect. Anyone who's kind of wondering about cockpit mode, some people have been like, oh, haven't seen it at conventions and stuff. It's a work in progress. We did have a vlog that actually showed a little bit of customization on this cockpit mode as well, where you're going to be able to make this your own. So lots of crazy things, including all the ship components, the wings, the cockpit, the body, the engines. All of these things are different modules you'll be able to interchange on your ships. So, goodness gravy. I'm so happy right now because the funding is going to allow us to do so much more. Like, oh my gosh. It's going to allow us to do so much more. You guys are incredible, and I love this. I love this so much. Ah, yes. Goodness gravy. Okay, let's keep going. So here we're flying, starting to get into like the mineable areas, and we see a couple of these G&B miners actually stuck in these anemones. They're destroyed though. They're just wreckages at this point. So we're still trying to get to the main hub, flying all the way through. Here we are, and we have this broken drone. This drone shouldn't be here at all. It's an outlaw drone, but it doesn't have any weapons on board whatsoever. So it's just floating around us, giving us a quick little targeting exercise. The controls are nearly identical to Everspace 1, in fact. So you have very precise turning, movement, maneuverability in general. It's not a space sim where you have thrusters on your front, your rear, your sides, all that type of stuff. Not a realistic portrayal of space, far more akin to something like a Star Wars or Guardians of the Galaxy experience here, like a Descent even. I think Descent's a good way to reference since we've even got an internal space that we're moving through. So yeah, so this style of controls, again, it's not simulation, it's very arcadey, very fast paced. We want to make sure that you have full control over how you're maneuvering. So here we're into this main hub where we're leading all these miners to start doing their work. And this engineer is kind of like, we probably shouldn't be here. We are being led into some significant problem areas and the outlaw faction that owns this site. And I mean, I'm not too worried. I'm the muscle. I'm just like, have you seen the events of Everspace 1? I have destroyed thousands of outlaws in Okar. I ain't sweating one bit. But, you know, still, for these folks that are here, I could see why they would be a little bit worried. So we're going to go ahead and grab these energy cells. This is showing off a new component of Everspace 2 where we have this grapple mechanic. Oh my gosh, we're going to be able to do so much with this grapple mechanic too. Oh my goodness, guys, I am so excited. This is just great. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy. I am so happy. All right. But yeah, so this grapple mechanic, obviously you can grab random stuff in space, you can take it to where you need to. You'd also be able to grab random pieces of space junk and use it as a shield, toss it into your foes as a projectile attack. Maybe you could see like some sort of weak armor on the edge of a warship. You fly up to it, you grapple onto it, and you rip it off before being able to fly into its internals and mess up its life support. Oh, devious. Oh yeah, lots of fun little things that we are planning on doing, some things that we've got really strong ideas with. I just know that we're going to be able to create so much more magical things with your guys' support, with your financial support, but also from like the ideas that you guys have already been crafting, already been shouting at us saying, hey, will you do this? Hey, will you do that? We're taking notes. Oh my gosh, it is such a delight to be able to do this, be in this adventure with you guys. I'm thrilled. Okay, so anyway, more stuff that's happening in the tutorial right now. Basically, we have everything's starting to shake. We've got these little markers that are like sending out our signal. So we are really not supposed to be here. Whoever is poking in on us knows our location now. And we're going to have to probably fight our way out. Seems fine to me. So we're going to try and take out all these sensors. It doesn't really matter because I'm pretty sure that they got the information that they needed already. But, you know, whatever. Gives us something to do while they're having conversations, I guess. Alright, so we'll just wait here. Basically, the foreman's saying, hey, well, you know, I know that I put you into some really deep stuff right now, but if you want to erase your tab, you got to go where it pays. So he knows that where we're at and what we're doing would generate a handsome amount of money, but it's also putting our lives at risk. But he doesn't seem to care about our lives so much. What a jerk. So here the outlaws have just barged right in on our territory. They've got these Weber drones who are going to start trying to take hostages, in fact. But we're going to pop them down with our pulse laser because we can. How are the audios? The game sound too high? Hopefully it's not too bad. Perfect. So now they send out outlaw drones, which these guys can fire back at us. There's not too many of them because, again, this is a tutorial. And finally, when we drop the last one, we're going to see everyone kind of giving praise and be like, okay, well, now we need to get out of here. All of a sudden, though, now all the doors are locked. We can't escape. The outlaws have trapped us in here. So what happened to the guys outside? Like, we came with a squad. There should be some individuals taking care of things. Why didn't they warn us? What's going on? Something seems really flaky right about now. So the engineer's able to crack open this door for us to be able to escape, in which case we are doing just that. As the wingman, I am going first to make sure that the pathway is clear. Whoosh. There you go. The entrance to Everspace 2 that's going to catapult us into the events of what's going on with your character, the people that he's meeting, and how all that's going to shape and change who you are and what you are going to choose to become out in this open world RPG. Oh my goodness. And I want to mention this like a billion times over, but again, this is a work in progress. So everything that you just saw here, all of those components, this is all currently being developed. We're still polishing. We're still adding audio. Like there's going to be full voice work both in English and German for all the text that you saw on screen, for a 20 to 30 hour designed campaign for you to set out and venture through. Of course, you can branch away from that adventure at any point in time, really, to go off and explore and take on random jobs, assert your dominance over certain factions, or make others kind of like you. And we're hoping at least for 100 hours of gameplay experience for you guys, maybe even more than that, especially when we hit that stretch goal, because that'll provide an in-game loop for you to constantly enjoy. All right, so that is the tutorial of Everspace 2. Now we're going to dive into the build that we have been sending out to the various conventions. So we'll be able to dive into certain worlds, certain options. Making sure my audio levels are still good. Looks like they are. Oh my goodness. I know there's so many questions that have been jumping out there during the stream as I've just been talking, but oh my goodness. You guys. How are you? How is everybody doing this fine afternoon/evening if you are over in Europe? It is great to have you with the stream. I'm so thrilled where we've made it to the Kickstarter. We're getting close to that stretch goal. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, good. Hi. Excellent. Hello. Fine over here. I'm epic. Oh, that's great. Wow. Yeah. Man, we've got a lot of repeat visitors too. I'm seeing a lot of you guys from YouTube and from Twitch. I'm not seeing too many from Facebook. Is Facebook operating? Yeah. Okay. We got it. We got you, Facebook. I got you. Perfect. Man, that stretch goal is getting ever closer. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Actually, let's take a quick peek. Let's see where it's currently at. I'm just curious. I'm sure everybody's curious. Let's just look. Let's look together. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so let's look at this. So right now it's still going up. We're at 547,116. This is in US dollars. And I think that the stretch goal is 550. Yeah, look at that. It's approximately 550. So at 547, that means we are 3K away, about 3K away from reaching that stretch goal. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're going to hit that. We are absolutely going to hit that. That's basically locked in. I am excited. That's going to be here. Let's actually, since we're diving around, we're really excited. Let's just talk about this right now. So we had the latest update was the We're Funded stretch goal number 1. Basically, you guys are amazing. You already knew that, of course. But big picture from the team in Germany. This is the in-studio team right here. What an assortment of dudes and lady right there, smack dab in the middle. Incredible team to be a part of. Oh my gosh, we are all incredibly thankful. So keep rocking it, guys. You guys are awesome. So because you know that, actually, I want to mention some of this. There were actually some media folks were actually writing us off. I didn't actually know this, but I discovered this recently. And so like we basically. The media was like, oh, yeah, they should have did that Epic Store exclusive. They would have gotten the funding that they needed. That really sucks, blah, blah, blah. And then we were like, do we, though? Kaboom! Because you guys are rock stars, and we are rockfish. And it's a fantastic combination. So thank you for all that love and support, because we freaking nailed it. Oh my gosh. So yeah. So through that, we had Geekbyte who did a stream for us, just like running the hype train as well. Man, it is so warm in here. It's probably because of all this raw, unkempt fury and emotion right now of just being so super excited. And so yeah, he did a stream for us. But let's talk about the Ancient Rifts, because you guys, I know, are already just wondering about it. We're just diving right in. Oh my gosh. It is so good. So, what is this thing? It's an Ancient Rift. What does that even mean? Are you guys familiar with the late game? I actually think they're also called Rifts in Diablo 3. You guys familiar with that at all? You guys Yes, no, maybe. Because if you are familiar with those, it's kind of sort of like that a little bit. So whenever you are in the in-game state of Everspace 2, you're essentially going to have these sudden cracks in space, strange anomalies that will lead you into dangerous regions full of unrelenting enemies. That may or may not sound a bit like Everspace 1, where you are randomly led into procedurally generated environment after procedurally generated environment with an assortment of enemies. I'm sure that number of enemies and the challenges thereof will probably be just a little bit more diverse. And of course, you're going to have loot that you're collecting to expand upon your ship and your various synergies and powers as you're growing in levels, something that you could not even do in Everspace 1. So this is just kind of like a little concept art piece of an ancient rift opening up. You can see there that center point. It's just begging to be explored. So, yes. I see a question. Does Epic take some kind of rights for itself? I mean, we are partners with Epic because we do Unreal Engine. We just didn't want to do an exclusivity deal with them because it would hurt our relations with other partners that we have. For example, Steam. So through the first Kickstarter, we actually we did a very strong partnership with Valve. Excuse me, I said Steam. I meant Valve. And everything worked out incredibly well for us, so we really wanted to go that same route again. We didn't want to step on anybody's toes in the process, so just exclusivity deal in this entire aspect of our Kickstarter just didn't make sense. So anyone who even offered us some sort of exclusivity deal or any big chunk of money was like, hey, we'll pay for all the things if you go lock in your vote to only be on this platform. No, that's just not what we wanted to do. It didn't serve us well. We were stepping on somebody's toes, and it also wouldn't have been good for our community, so that's why we ignored that. Or passed that away. And I'm glad that we did. I hope that you guys are glad that we did as well, because our focus really is on you, especially since now we've got this funding locked in place. We're going to be able to do so much with your support, all of your ideas. Oh my gosh, I'm just so thrilled. If that hasn't come across, oh goodness gravy, I'm just on a high right now. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about this. I'm kind of going to read this verbatim. Normally I let you guys just read it, but I'm really excited. We're going to read it together. All right, this will be good. There will also be console release. I see that question over on Facebook. Yeah, we are looking at Xbox and PlayStation specifically as of right now. If Nintendo ups their game and creates a new console, it's very possible that we could approach that. But for the Switch itself, what we have in mind through development of Everspace 2 is probably going to be dang near impossible to get it running on the Switch based on our finances. Even with the support through Kickstarter, it would be a bit too demanding for us. But who knows what Nintendo will come out with in the future. I'm not saying that we won't be on a Nintendo console, so there you go. All right, so with these new in-game opportunities, with this Ancient Rift, again, I'm basically speaking like we've hit this goal. I'm pretty confident that we're going to. Basically, what it's going to do is provide zone after zone of ever-increasing difficulty, collecting powerful artifacts and super rare resources. And you'll be able to use this to upgrade your various loot that you've found throughout the game. So this is going to bring something new and different on top of the campaign mode that you've already gone through, as well as all of those external challenges and options and jobs that you've been taking on along that ride. So also, this is kind of a cool little throwback as well to Everspace 1, but in a way that is a little bit lore-breaking, but damn it, it's a video game. It's okay. If you die in the Rift, you don't actually die in the game. Instead, you're just kicked out of the Rift with all of the stuff that you had found in there up to that point. Yay! Video games! So it's fantastic. So yeah, that's what this update's all about. Whew! We did it. We did it. And look, we are so close. Look at this. We are so freaking close to hitting that stretch goal. It's kind of absurd. So keep on keeping on, folks. This is good stuff. All right. Loved Galaxy on Fire 2? Excellent. How about HOTAS? Yes. Very yes. Absolutely. Guaranteed. Thanks for answering. Hey, thanks for asking. It's a great question. Let's see what else we got out there before we dive into the demo itself. I think they said it wasn't going to be related to the Galaxy on Fire lore. It's its own beast. Yes, I do want to point that out because we are a new studio and we have our own IP. Anything and everything that we create is very much our own. We are not going to be borrowing from any other franchises through the course of the game, though you might see some references. Otherwise, it's going to be unique from the ground up, including from our previous game. Actually every single model that you see in Everspace 2 is a new, unique model to the franchise. We are not just taking the models we use from Everspace 1, pulling them over, reskinning them a little bit and saying, okay, that's done. No, heck no, that would be lazy. We ain't doing that. So instead, we are building it from the ground up. We actually showcased a lot of what those reimaginings looked like in a previous vlog. So if you haven't seen those, you should definitely check them out. Everything from the original Outlaw Scout to the G&B Fighter to even the Outlaw Bomber. Everything is being just recasted, if you will. Oh, it's delightful. When will we get the wallpapers? That's a great question. Probably... That is a really good question. If not this week, maybe next week. But, I mean, we got to figure out what's going to look best for you guys and then deliver all those to you. So give us a little bit of time. I'll make sure that we'll get it all to you. We satisfied all the promises in Everspace 1. We've got a good track record, okay? I promise you, we will get you everything that you guys have asked for, if not more. Are you going to keep stretch goals through early access or after the end of the Kickstarter? Maybe. We'll have to figure that out internally to see if that's something that we can do. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, Kickstarter is going to be all said and done. Any other forms of support and whatnot, we will have announcements based on that if we can. Good question, though. Good question. No worries about repeat questions whatsoever from Hangman 2015. Let's see, we got... when will Everspace 2 be available on your web shop via PayPal? Will it be possible to buy the $80 tier demo alpha beta digital copy? My guess is going to be yes, because we did a similar technique with Everspace 1. Even though it wasn't something where you played a massive role in development like you are through the Kickstarter, you'll still be able to get that access and provide your feedback through the appropriate channels through an alpha, a beta, an early access, very likely from a web shop store that we will be going live with probably sometime soonish is my pretty well-informed guess. If any of those details were inaccurate and somebody like Michael is listening to me say all of these things, Michael, that question came over from YouTube. If you can correct me at all in the slightest, if any of that was incorrect, I would be much appreciative of that. Otherwise, I am quite certain that is the drill in the dance. All right. Surf says, you know what I'm excited for? Getting my card charged in 3.5 hours. Oh my gosh, you're crazy. Excellent. You want this screen to be your screensaver? Oh, dude, that'd actually be pretty awesome. All right, let's see if there's any other questions before we dive right into this. Will Everspace 2 support RTX ray tracing and or HDR graphics? Will it have native 21.9 support? I want to say yes to all of these things. I know that we are looking into ray tracing. I'm pretty confident we have RTX support. HDR graphics, I also want to say yes. I'm gonna need to get confirmation on some of that. I know that we would really like to have the native 21.9 support. I want to be more accurate in answering your questions here. I don't want to just say I think so. I want to say I know so. So let me jot some of these things down and make sure that we get those answered, because these are good questions. Thank you for the questions. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Just going to write down a couple things really quickly so I don't forget about them. And then we'll dive right in, all right? Thank you for your patience. You guys are so good. You guys are so good. All right. Can you save game and continue from that point, or will it send you back to a space station? Caden, I imagine that we will have... We're still going over the saving systems, so I'm not sure. I know that we will have checkpoint systems, especially for missions, so that if you fail a mission, you'd start back over from the beginning of it. However, the loot that you would have gathered through the mission up to that point, you would still retain that, because we're not going to yoink a bunch of equipment and gear and sweet loot that you've got up to that point that'd just be kind of cruel and unusual punishment. So, but yeah, we're still working out the kinks and figuring out the best course of action for the saving system. So bear with us as we figure it out ourselves and also through your feedback. Webshop launches on Wednesday, supporting PayPal and further payment methods. That comes directly from Michael. He's the CEO of Rockfish Games. Boom, there we go. Excellent. How good are the 4K wallpapers looking? I mean, have you seen this game? Oh my gosh. And knowing that we're going to add even more polish. Okay, it's crazy. It's crazy. I wonder, let's see. Any more quick questions before I dive in? We have been just chatting for 30 minutes. How beautiful is that? You guys. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Is there station trading in this game? Yes, absolutely. So we're actually looking on different types of... actually, let's dive in. Let's start talking about these things as we're playing. I think that's a really great question. So, station trading... That audio's a little high. Is that audio okay for you guys? Is the audio too loud? Just seeing if anybody says, yes, it's too loud, no, it's fine. Good audio. Great, thank you. Thank you, High Res Blight over on Twitch. You're a rock star, thank you. So, basically, the way that stations and commodities work, you'll have an assortment of different goods that you'll be collecting over time in the game that you'll be filling into your cargo slot. Now, this is a little bit different from Everspace 1, where you had locked-in resources, an assortment of them, where you use those on the fly for crafting and bettering yourself through the course of a run. Now, because the run is now no longer present, now it's open world, you go wherever you want, do whatever you want, to a degree. I mean, let's be honest, you can't do some crazy things, but you'll be able to really play the game in a style to your leisure, including being a trader in space. There are a lot of different commodities that are going to be more valuable at certain stations and less valuable at others. So you'll absolutely be able to find certain trade lanes, maybe even hijack some, procure some goods from some people passing through, or you could defend them, and you'd be able to take those resources, deliver them to a station. Maybe there's one site that just really needs some Vardum crystal shards. They're going to pay you a nice profit, but of course if you go to the station that's near the mine for the Vardum crystal shards, they're like, psh, we've got plenty of these, we're going to give you 5 credits per item. A lot of different components like that. We're looking into dynamic economies as well. If that's something that fits the bill for the game, we'll add it. If it's a little too extreme, we're probably just going to ignore it. We're looking at the best option for the game, and we're going to have a lot of time with you guys through the course of development to tweak that process, make it the best it can possibly be. So if you don't like it when we get there, that's fine, that's great. Yell at us, scream at us, make sure that your voice is out there so that we can try and do something about it together. I think that seems pretty fair. What do you think? Excellent. Are there plans for official modding support? At this point in time, there are not. That doesn't mean things can change. I personally would love to see modding support. I know that there are select members of the team who also know that that would be incredible, but we have to make sure that if we go that particular route, it's something that we can satisfy in the most, so that it can be the best experience possible for modding. Otherwise, we don't want to make it like a partial modding experience where it's just hard for us to accomplish and then you guys don't really get a lot of stuff to do with it. We're figuring it out. If it's something we can do, we will do it. If it's not, we'll explain why, because we're going to be incredibly transparent through the course of this development cycle. Okay. All right. I am going to stop answering questions. We're actually going to play the game for a little bit, and we will expand upon some of the things we've already touched on a little bit so that you can see more about what the game's all about and what it is that we're offering as this experience. So first things first, we are in a site known as the home base. Hopefully that's not too spoilery, but this is a site that you are calling your home, where we have a selection of fighters that we've borrowed and are able to take for a spin. So this one in particular, this is the Sentinel. This is actually a fighter that was in the original game. It was the DLC fighter. Of course, it looked a little bit different. It looked a little bit more like this, I think, in the original game. Of course, there's a bit of modifications as well. Like I said, we are not just taking the models that we used from Everspace 1 and just plugging them here. No. There's a lot of this stuff that's being built from the ground up. or being completely rehashed and just delivered in a completely new way entirely. So, yeah, so this is the Sentinel. We're going to be able to fly this bad boy out. All of these different variations of the ship here. This kind of gives you a little bit of a sample. There's only 11 different ships that I'm cycling rapidly between of the customization you will have on your ships, because as I said earlier in the stream, each of the wings, each of the cockpits, each of the engines, you're going to be able to change those around to your liking, obviously along with the paint, as well as the brand of the ship. In particular for this build, it's just our Rockfish name and logo. That's probably not going to be in the final game, but, you know, it's just there to show so that you can see what's going on. We also have the Interceptor here. This also is a ship from the original Everspace. In fact, it was our flagship of the original Everspace, the one you start your very first run with. But as you can also see here, it's been updated quite a bit. And you'll have further customization galore on it as well. And then last but not least, we also have this Assault Fighter, which is also, which was not, it was not from the previous game. In fact, this is an entirely new fighter. All three of these ships are from the medium ship class. There will be multiple ship classes. We also revealed a light ship class and a heavy ship class. The light ship class, some of the ships that we saw were more akin to the Scout. The heavy ships we saw more akin to the gunship. We've also teased some ideas on a couple more ships that we may or may not be pursuing, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Oh my gosh. I'm just still thrilled that we did it. We made it together. We're going to be able to do so much. So good. Okay, so I want to take this Sentinel out for a spin. As of right now, the distinguishment of ships, like the distinguishment, let me choose better words. The distinctive nature of each of these ships is not so great right now. All we're really showing is that there are going to be different ships, but statistically, as well as pertaining to your devices, your primaries, a lot of the starting components that are going to make each ship, they're going to be very unique. So even in the same class, the medium ship classes, each one of these is going to offer a little bit of a different playstyle for you. And that's going to be diversified even further with the more equipment that you find out in space. From all the modules, the energy cores, shields, plating, sensors, thrusters, even your cargo unit, your consumables, your primaries, your secondaries. And that's not even including your leveled up perks that you're choosing along the way for your pilot that will apply to whatever ship you're flying. Lots of different ways that you're going to be able to synchronize and synergize the tools that you find. So let's go ahead and take this little guy for a spin, show you some of what we are offering with Everspace 2. First things first, the controls that you're seeing here, very, very similar to Everspace 1. Very arcadey. You already saw this with the tutorial, but now we're out and about. We're going to be able to fight some Outlaw Scouts. Also want to show you the photo mode really quickly and see more of the detail work that you can see on even the Scout. Far more detailed than it was in Everspace 1. Seeing his battle damage. Oh man, he's cruising for a bruising to death right now. Also, if you are really keen on photos, we're adding a lot more details to the photos this time around. So right here we have depth of field, which you can play around with. We'll have color correction options. We'll have a lot more crazy things that you'll be able to modify before you hit the button. Oh my gosh, Bloodstar, distinctiveness. That was the word I was looking for back then. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Excellent. So lots of different ways that you're going to be able to go out in the world, take some screenshots, make the game look good, you know? That turret does not look good right now. What a silly turret. That's okay. I'm sure it'll look better the closer we get. I'm just curious. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, now it's a little bit better rendered. No worries. Still working on the details, like I said. This is a prototype, what you guys are currently watching. So if you think that this looks good, hang on. There is so much more coming. So we're going to use a missile to take out that drone. Easy peasy. I want to go see what's over at this base. Now, you guys saw the grapple mechanic from the tutorial. let's use it a little bit more. Launch this over at that drone. Yeah! Taking him out by launching a barrel. That feels real good. You could also scatter the barrels too if you want to just like create some mass chaos and panic nearby. But let's grab some of these resources. This is just a very simple way of gathering resources. You shoot it, you loot it. There will probably be other ways to mine things in the future. You'll have to stay tuned for that. Right now, it's very much akin to Everspace 1. Now, there are also secret areas, since each one of these locations that you're exploring now, each one of these locations are handcrafted environments. So there's a lot of intentionality to creating secrets in these areas so that you'll be able to explore and discover new critters, new factions, new events taking place, depending on where you go and what you do. And also, each one of these solar systems are handcrafted. Each of these little nodes, each of these, like there's about 10 per solar system, and we're aiming for about 8 solar systems here. That means that there's approximately 80 unique handcrafted locations. At least. It could be more than that. And that includes, even though we can't go there yet, these little sites, they're actually on the planet themselves. You'll be able to fly in Atmo. Handcrafted locations. It's not a procedurally generated world, but a very intentional space for you to engage with. Going into caves, interiors of space stations, exploring natural wildlife, stuff like that. All of that stuff handcrafted for you to dive into. So we found the secret. Let's blow this thing up with a missile and gather some loot so that we can show a little bit of what that looks like. So here, I said before, it's kind of like a Diablo in space sort of experience. We see here that we have superior plating that has 7 resistance and 7 firepower. Those are 2 of the 6 attributes that will make up your ship, and making it better in certain elements versus others. So by applying this, it's just straight up better than this other hunk of junk piece of plating. Sometimes that's going to happen. Sometimes it's just going to offer a different way to approach a similar scenario. Here we have an energy core that's offering more tractor beam range. That's great. And it's also a really good example to show you that we already have a sensor as well. So some things are going to be able to give benefits to other modules that you already have on board. This is going to lead to a very large number of strong builds that you'll be able to handcraft as you're venturing through the vastness of open space here. Sometimes you might find different components that are made by like a certain I'm blanking on the word, basically like a creator, oh my gosh, I'm completely blanking on the word. I'm just so excited, okay? I'm so happy. It is fantastic. But basically, like, if there was a faction that had created all of these different components, all of them in a series, for example, if you equipped GMB shields, GMB platings, GMB sensors, maybe that might have a synergistic, is that a word? It synergizes, okay? It would have an effect to bring it all together and make them all increase, kind of like a set item, if you will. Manufacturer, thank you guys. I'm just so excited, I'm losing all my words. Oh my gosh, this has been great. This has been absolutely great. Okay, so you also see that we got that copper, which is just a common ore. This is actually different from this common tech resource, which is more of a commodity in the game. So you'll be able to see how certain resources may benefit your, maybe areas where you're going to be crafting new things, maybe where you're going to be upgrading different components. Whereas the cooling unit here, this is just a common commodity that will be more desired at certain locations by certain factions more than others, where you can profit considerably if you're in the right place at the right time, or if you're willing to scrape by some pesky Okar police forces. So lots of different opportunities there as well. So we're going to fly about this area, gather some extra scrap metal, and look at one of these things. This is just an example as of right now. This is an ancient damage glyph. It operates very differently than what we had in the original Everspace. Here it's now a power-up that all you have to do is hold it, and it will provide its bonuses to you. That guy proved to be quite easy. This Madcap, this is a new enemy in Everspace 2. Basically, he's going to drop mines behind whenever we destroy him, and he will have an escape pod that he'll probably still fight us with, just because he can. But we got him. Now we just have to avoid this minefield. And the Ancient Damage Glyph, it's going to run out, and it's gone forever. We'll take these heat detectors, though. It's a nice item, nice commodity. And we'll also, as you're exploring in all these various locations, you'll also come across certain little challenges, mini-games, like this shadow creature, for example, where you have to stay in the shadows. We go into the sun, he turns white, he doesn't like that. But if we stay in the shadows, and we take him over to his buddy, we'll be offered a little bit of a reward. So we'll just take him up here, and we get some dark matter out of the deal. Some locations will be really challenging to stay in the shadows. Others maybe not so much, like this example one. But you'll have different tasks to keep things fresh and interesting, instead of just going out and blowing up everybody else. Now, speaking of going out and blowing up everybody else, let's check out some of that with this Outlaw Bomb Thrower. We have these bombs that he's chucking at us, and we can actually chuck them right back to him. Look at that. So we're going to keep chucking them back to him, take him out, and take this iron plate that he dropped. Now, that missile would be really cool to catch and throw back at that missile turret, or maybe at another nearby target. But unfortunately, our grapple mechanic isn't upgraded, so we can't really do anything of that sorts just yet. Instead, we're going to loot this wrecked fighter, grab these credits and this marksman coil gun. Let's see how that compares to our assault cannon. Not assault cannon, auto cannon, excuse me. So now we have this coil gun. Feels pretty good. We'll take it out for a spin, see what it's like. We'll also go into this little cave over here, see what we've got. Just a little turret. Now, this coil gun feels nice. Grab the coil guns as we level up. This is kind of showing you just a simple statistical improvements that it has on the game as you're leveling. But rest assured, you're going to have a lot more than just stats as you increase in level. Very meaningful, powerful options, diversifying your playstyle over even your buddy that might be playing Everspace 2 at his house. So it'll be good. Now, I say that, and I want to also point this out. Everspace 2 is a single-player experience. For anybody who is not aware of that, we are intentionally making it a single-player game. It's how we want it to be designed. We know that we can expand upon a really powerful story for a single player. Any of those who are looking for a multiplayer experience, you're not going to see that here. It's just our design decision. So if you want a single-player experience, definitely be checking us out. Maybe even toss into the Kickstarter that only has about 3 hours left. And yeah, sit back along for the ride that is the development cycle for us. I think from here we're going to travel a little bit faster back to our home base by using this cruise drive. This will be available in all of the different locations since they're handcrafted. We wanted ways for you to get around just a little bit faster. We'll open up this pocket on the side of the home base. Grab some more goodies. Perfect. So let's go change our ship and go exploring around a little bit more. I'm also going to check and make sure your guys' questions are getting answered. I know that Michael is out there answering all the questions. RMM.Inc. says 2 questions. Infinite Drift and Firefly references. Yes and yes. In fact, we got so much support and feedback and criticism from Everspace 1 regarding the controls of your inertia dampeners, we decided to make it a toggle option in Everspace 2. I can't show it to you right now because it's not available in the demo, but rest assured it will be there. Now, I also want to point out that it is not a realistic portrayal of space in Everspace 2, so if you are looking for a space sim experience and you toggle that thing off so you're floating around, be prepared for a lot of collision damage. There's a lot of stuff that you will be able to engage with and collide with in Everspace 2 because, again, it is not a realistic portrayal of space. We are romanticizing it, giving you a lot of stuff to do. It's not this vast, empty blackness, all right? You have been warned, but feel free to toggle that on and off. And Firefly references? Oh my gosh, my heart still hurts for Wash. All right, let's go ahead and change ships. But first, let's go ahead and pull some elements off of what we found. Actually, let's just transfer all these goods here. Take it over to our other ship. We can keep those upgrades there. That's fine. We're gonna go over to our interceptor. We're going to add this cargo unit, and let's just bring all this stuff back into the cargo unit of this ship now. Maybe we'll find a station. We have much larger cargo here because we added this cargo unit. You'll also see that this cargo unit itself actually adds resistance. So even your cargo unit itself, just the cargo unit, can add unique modifiers that will better your ship, better your playstyle, or maybe even help you craft something unique that you had no idea was going to happen before. Oh my gosh. Woo! Okay. Here's a question from Kiprod97. Can you show us the turret on the back of the ship? Didn't you say it was in the last stream there will be something to put on your ship's back or something like that? I'm not sure where you heard that from, but as of right now, for this particular ship, there are no turrets that you can place on it. Also, in the demo itself, we don't have any turrets other than the sticky turret that you can get as a consumable. When you launch it, it will latch onto an asteroid and fire for you. But I do know that in Everspace 1, the gunship had its own unique turret on top of that. So maybe there's a chance. All right, let's keep going. Let's go ahead and take this interceptor for a spin and find another location in this vast open world, because obviously we want to see way more about where we can go and what we can do. Congratulations to the Kickstarter campaign. Thank you, Shul83. Really appreciate it over on Mixer. Yeah, we're really happy about it as well, because it's not just like, yay, we got money. It's, holy crap, now we're able to create something alongside the community. Like, this isn't something where it's like, we just needed more funding and that's it. This is something where you guys are now a part of this entire experience that we can build together. Like, this is so important to us. Community is so invaluable. And we know that right now, it's a time when developers can be a little bit hard to trust. So knowing that you guys are kind of sticking your necks out, putting that funding down, I mean, you're making a really bold statement by doing that, and we are so incredibly thankful. And we're going to be making sure we're very transparent through our development process. You can always chat with me on the Discord. I'm known as Draftsaur. You can always be watching our streams, which we'll be doing pretty consistently on Fridays, to know where we're at, what we're up to. We want to show you, like, it's not you just putting your money where your mouth is, it's also us. And we are very dedicated to this cause. So again, thank you so much for all of that support that you guys have been offering. Let's hit this next stretch goal. I know that we're super close. If not, we've hit it already. I don't even know where it's at because I'm doing the stream. But seriously, you guys are amazing. So I'm excited to make this game with you guys. It's going to be solid. Okay, so now we've gone into open space. This is the planet that we were just at. We are going to fly away from it. Let's go over to the star. You can see that planet's going bye-bye. See you later, planet. We are now flying around in this entire area. We are fully flying around. We can go wherever, do whatever we want. Venture to all these different points. Well, for the demo, we only have 4 different points to go. But we're going to head over to this star right next to that star. Woo! Should be good. And in these travels, there are 2 different ways that you can travel around. 1 is by manually doing it, and 2 is by automation. So now we've locked on autopilot. If we don't want to wait, we can also hold down R and just go instant transition. Don't want to wait around. That's what you can do. Or you can sit back, have your cup of tea, be delighted, and just looking at all the interstellar objects and unknown signals or interceptions. That's also fine. I'm going to avoid this interception so I can go see what's at that unknown signal. I'm hoping it's something magical. We'll find out right now, though. Okay, we escaped that. Let's go to the unknown signal and see what it offers. Looks like there might be a base here. Or some random loot. I don't see any loot there. It's over here. Ah, here we are. We got some goods in this wreck. Scattergun, energy core. Okay, I'll take it. Nanofibers, small arms. Small arms. Where are those at? Where do we find those? Small arms. So I also want to point out that there's very likely going to be illicit goods in this game as well, that if you are caught with, you may or may not disrupt the local police force. So definitely be mindful about what type of goods you're picking up and where you're taking them. Alright, let's also head over to this asteroid. See if there's some sweet loot to collect. I just see a pesky little drone. Should be able to take him out relatively easy. Yep, no problems. Oh, also, is this scattergun better than the scattergun we got? Oh, it is! Yeah, let's straight up use that. You can see that there's already an assortment of new attributes that you can compare in contrast between your different tools. What's this? Is this another scattergun? Alright. Autocannon? Excellent, that's fine. I actually think that there's something going on here. I think these are actually exactly the same. Don't you worry, we got plenty of time to take those kinks out. If anyone's like, wait, those are the same stats, don't worry about it. Don't you worry about it. We will be making all of the improvements to this game. Alright, so we're going to add these new mine launchers as our secondary there. And we're just going to cruise around this larger asteroid. Maybe there's something inside of it? I'm not sure. It's a big one. Alright, you kind of got a little snippet of the dynamic music there. So the music right now is in kind of like this casual mode of exploration, but when we had that combat, it kind of increased for a moment, and then we destroyed the drone pretty quickly, and then it returned to its base level format. Just being explorative, casual music again. I can't find the entry point in this large asteroid. It's too big. It's too big. Oh, but I do see some resources. We'll gladly take those. Perfect. Oh, there's some more resources. I saw you. We'll collect that and then we'll head over to the star. Perfect. So where was that star at? Okay, yeah, we could fly that direction. Here, let me just show you, like, all these interstellar objects in the background, they're actually there. So when I warp like this, you see the planet right there? I can actually move back over here towards the star. Just like so. So it's not just a random generated background, it's actually there, and you can actually get to it. Just takes a little bit of flying first. So we're gonna lock ourselves in place here, get real close to this star. Whoosh! Here we are. So this guy's going to give us a little mission. I'm going to check out what you guys are asking about. What's the difference between cruise drive and jump drive? Cruise drive allows you to have greater speed in an area, whereas the jump drive gives you speed in the entire open world of space. There will be more enemies in the full game, right? Oh my gosh. What you see here, everybody, big announcement. What you see right here in the demo is less than 5%. Easily less than 5%. It's probably even less than 1% of what the full game experience is going to be, okay? You're seeing so little. Oh my gosh. There's so much more. So much more coming. So many more enemies. So many more ships. So many more missions. There's going to be an entire campaign, so much more itemization. There's so many more weapons and secondaries and devices and consumables and modules and goodness gravy. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, you're barely getting the tip of the iceberg on this right now. So much more. You see that mountain? You can fly to it. Oh my gosh, an untaken username. What a clever username. Now, I guess I should be really careful in saying stuff like that, yeah? I mean, obviously, with the interstellar objects out in space, they do exist. There are going to be different points that you can fly up to and around them. Very much in an open world style like that. We have drawn inspiration from other open world games. Those that would allow you to breathe in the wild, for example. Definitely stuff that we want to do and be clever with as we move forward into our game space. We definitely want it to feel like its own game, though. So while we do pull inspiration, it's not like we're just like ripping things straight off of somebody else and then just plugging it in, right? Like, we want to make it our own. Some people have already commented that this reminds them of like Galaxy on Fire 2. Well, yes, I mean, we're that same development team. It reminds them of Freelancer. Okay, yeah, no, that's good. We were definitely inspired, for sure. Other people saying like, yeah, I mean, I get the whole looter shooter in space, kind of like a Destiny or a Diablo sort of experience. Yeah, we get that too. Absolutely. Definitely drawn that inspiration. Like, these are things that we love and we want to be able to do out in space, so that's why we're doing it. We just found a legendary. That's fantastic. I think it's the pulse laser. Yep, it's the pulse laser. So let's go ahead and plug in this legendary pulse laser that has a 10% chance to regenerate 20% of the kinetic damage dealt as whole points with each hit, 10% chance to regenerate 20% of whole hit points with each kill, 1% chance for each shot to increase all damage dealt to the target's hull by 100% for 5 seconds, plus 10% experience per kill. We also have that nice little touch at the very, very bottom there, giving it a little bit of lore goodness. The first and also the last laser built by Benka, since it was way overpriced at the time. Nowadays, it's a rare find and still a powerful weapon. We're going to go ahead and plug that in. I accidentally pushed that button. We activated our weapon overdrive, though. One of the many tools that you'll have at your disposal. And using this pulse laser, you'll see it's going to drop these guys so quickly, even with a single shot. Right now, it just basically is a different colored pulse laser, but come on. Come on. We know that legendaries need to look and feel real good. So that is something that we are working on. Each one of the legendaries and exotics and stuff like that you're going to be able to go out and discover out in space, they're going to have a particular look and feel about them as well. Let's take out these guys real briefly. Perfect. And there was an item over there. We are really loaded up with items. We're going to finish this mission to get this solar panel. I'm going to show you another little side mission in this area. Some of you probably already saw it. There's a little racetrack just to show you that we can. And then we'll move on over and show you a little bit of trading and purchasing. So here we have this race. Actually, we're going to wait for the scientist to give us the lowdown. Basically, he wanted us to activate all of these different features nearby the star in order to study the star a little bit better. We did so. He was excited about it, and then now he's like, oh, actually, the star sucks. So we're not really going to pay you. Is that okay? Because that's what we're going to do. And you're like, are you serious? And he's like, deuces. So he's definitely somebody that we want to meet later. Unfortunately, we can't do the course of this demo, but yeah, we're going to keep our eyes peeled. All right, so with this uphill slope, when we activate it, we'll actually be able to run through these little circles for our pathway for this little race challenge, if you will. Maybe if we were to complete this challenge in a really timely manner with special abilities or something, then we get like a really sweet item. Just a quick little example of what can happen. Would also very likely have races with other ships, so much larger rings that you would have to pass through, maybe even in Atmo, so you're down on a planet where you're racing other guys through like a canyon or a cave, for example, to really challenge your movement, your maneuverability skills at piloting a spaceship. So we got a lot of junk. We're going to take it over here. We're going to sell it at this G&B mining station to show you what this is all about. So in traditional fashion, we are going to have the opportunity to buy and sell all of these different things. Ooh, a homing missile launcher. I like it. We're just going to buy and equip that. So we just sold what we currently had equipped, immediately replaced. Ooh, it's also a nice shield. We're going to buy and equip that as well. And now we're just going to sell a bunch of stuff. We don't really need these commodities. I'm not too worried about comparing how much they would cost at this particular site versus another one yet, because we haven't implemented it yet. Ha! But Rest assured, that is something that we are looking into and will be implementing. So certain stations will demand certain goods. You'll be able to track that a lot more easily, so it's not like you're just looking at a good and being like, well, does this one sell well here? There will be a means to do so. We're looking out for you, don't worry. Excellent. Now we're kind of wealthy. It's delightful. Otherwise, we'd be able to pick up missions and jobs from this particular fashion. This is GMB, where we landed at. GMB is the mining monopoly in the vastness of the demilitarized zone. But there are many other factions you'll be able to engage with and do jobs for. Not just the outlaw faction, but rather multiple different outlaw factions. And there's also the Okar who are out there. Maybe there's some other factions abound too that we haven't discussed yet. So who knows? Excellent. So now that we've sold all of our stuff, we would also be able to manage ourselves pertaining to our level, our perks, maybe customize some of our ship options from here as well. We can't really show you anything yet because it's simply not available in this particular version. But again, I do implore you to check out the vlogs that we have posted over on YouTube on the Rockfish Games channel, because it shows you a bit more in depth, in detail about what this will look like further down the line. All right. So we've got all systems checked out. Things feel pretty good. Let's go explore this site. Actually, let's check out some of the questions that are being asked right now. Want to make sure that you're getting everything taken care of from Michael and everybody else. Whoop. Let me fix my message prompt. There we go. Better valued by weight. Oh my gosh. Nice. Clever. All right. Are there record lists from all players for the racetracks? Yeah, it's single player, but why not? I think that'd be clever. I think that would be fun. Online support in any capacity can prove to be a little bit challenging, but I know that internally we have already discussed the idea of like online record keeping for challenging purposes. So like if one person gets a time of 12.5 seconds on a racetrack, you would be able to see that and you'd be able to challenge them, if you will. I'm not guaranteeing that. It's something that I think would be really cool, really interesting. We'll see what time allows and see what you guys want. But again, I do want to stress, any type of online support that does add a very thick extra layer of development time for the game that we could otherwise use for plugging in simply straight up new consumables, or excuse me, new components, new content to the game space. So we have to be very careful on how we choose to add those components moving forward. We want to do what's best for you guys, and if that does mean you want that type of online leaderboard support, then that's something we can absolutely look into. But again, I can't guarantee anything at this point in time. We got a lot of time to keep working on things. Everspace 1 feels like a crayon drawing compared to how pretty this game is. Oh my gosh, that's silly. I like you. Have a question. When will you get the digital soundtrack, art book, and the wallpapers? I think there's actually a timestamp on that particular tier on the Kickstarter. Pretty sure there is. But I know that the soundtrack and the art book, like that isn't made right now. Like that's also being made in the process of making the game. So that will take time to be delivered. So yeah, lots of stars. Very text, very yes. Will there be HUD damage numbers like in the experience? We will have a lot of different damage numbers and experience numbers and critical hit numbers and all that type of stuff. Toggle. You'll be able to toggle that in your menu options. So if you like it, yes. If you don't, get it out of here. You'll be able to control that. Swarm drone, like Okar Swarm Fighters. That could be very cruel. We'll see. Any plans for a wanted system? Caden, I don't know if we have spoken about a wanted system yet in any capacity. Guess we'll have to find out in the future. No leaderboards, pure single player, please. Oh man, you guys are loud and proud about that. And we're actually quite happy because that's how we like our single player games as well. So I have a feeling that's how it's going to be moving forward. We'll let time decide. We'll see what the community wants as a whole, but I am definitely liking where your guys' mind's at as of right now. So very good stuff. Blink twice if that subtle nod was a hint. Oh my gosh, Kaden. Oh my goodness, I love you guys. I'm just on such a high today. Kickstarter funded. We're almost at that stretch goal. How close are we to that stretch goal? Does somebody know? Geekbite, I know that you're being such a boss in all the streams right now, answering questions. Thank you so much for your support. Have we hit it yet? Have we hit it? I'm just curious. Everybody's like, nah, I don't want leaderboards either. Awesome. Okay, great. Perfect. Hello, just joined. Will there be a PS4 version at launch? PS4 Pro, 60 frames per second, maybe. The answer to that is a strong maybe. So we did Xbox and PlayStation as well as Switch before with Everspace 1. We are locked in with Xbox and PlayStation moving forward with Everspace 2. We'll have to see as development continues where the specs are at with all things considered to ensure that it can operate to the capacity that we desire it to. So we'll see what happens. That's kind of, I know it's kind of a non-answer, but it's absolutely on our radar. Know that. In fact, I think even some of our stretch goals are like, hey, console version, boom. So if you want it like on a PlayStation console, there's definitely that option. Look forward to that. So it's about 500 euros away. Okay, Andre, thank you for the update. Wow, that's really close. That's really close. Oh. Everyone's favorite moment of the stream where I basically break my neck. Beautiful. All right. Let's get right back into this. I want to go explore this broken down station and show you just a really quick example of more grapple things. Who cares about leaderboards? You know, actually, I'm going to be that guy and say that I actually really like leaderboard stuff. I'm really competitive, though. I'm not saying it's a must-have. And if it's a feature that we can do without, I mean, that's less work for us. So I'm not complaining. So, absolutely. I'm down for what you guys want. Like, that's how I operate. Alright, so we're grabbing these power cores, right? And we're taking them over to these little sites where these power sockets exist. This opens up and boom! Oh my gosh, there was a creature that was trapped in here and now he's able to escape and destroy everything. I don't know, that was pretty dramatic. But, like, you get the picture. Like, you'll be able to interact with various tools. Whoa, careful there. Grabbing things, throwing them around, taking them, figuring out puzzles and great mysteries, all that type of stuff. Lots and lots of things. Okay. Let's fly to another site. This star's getting boring. Alright, we have this trading station over here. I'm going to show you the hold down R to skip. Even though this planet is super far away, boom, we pushed a button, and look where we're at. We're right next to this. We're right next to this planet, and that star is super far away. So if you don't like waiting around, boom, you don't have to. You don't have to wait around. Just get to where you want to go. Do yo thing. Delicious. This game looks so gorgeous, Pog. Hey, thanks, Random Gambit. Let's take this Outlaw Scout out. See, the thing about the coil gun is it's not incredibly accurate. Either that or I'm not aiming very well. But we're going to go with the prior and not the ladder. So we're going to change over to the pulse laser. Oh, beautiful. Take that loot and take it down to this trading outpost. So as you know, there's lots of different missions that you'll be able to take on. Little challenges here and there that are not just going to be testing your ability to fight, but also your ability to repair bases. Basically, this manager says, do you happen to know a cheap mechanic? I've got some problems. And I'm like, hey, I am all about fixing problems. Step into my office. And so we're going to fly around and we are going to do what he requires, which is repairing his base. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Skip the dialogue even. I just want to get right back out here and start fixing things. And as with any mission, sometimes they can branch out and become something that maybe you weren't expecting. So as we repair this leak, we are now under attack by this outlaw Madcap, who seems to come out of nowhere. But apparently he was hunkered down at this base, and he was stealing the Wi-Fi? Oh my gosh, what a savage. Who does that? Oh my goodness. So we took him down. We took him down mercilessly. And the manager's telling us about how there's a bunch of madcaps who actually come by and steal their bandwidth. So we're gonna deal with that. You know, by any means necessary. This is an example mission, by the way. I also hope that you guys don't think it's like in the studio, it's like, oh man, we see that those neighbors over there, they're hogging our bandwidth. All right, Jeff, send the guy. So that's not how we do things in the office, okay? It's pretty devious little mission here, if you think about it. But, there will be a lot of different missions that can move in directions that you might not otherwise have thought. It's actually similar in that regard to the scientists outside of the star, right? The scientists really just wanted us to get some information for the star, and then lo and behold, they actually kind of robbed us because we only got like 80 credits out of the mix, right? So that kind of sucks. Just selling a bunch of stuff as he's telling us to fix these new leaks now all over the base. Pretty sure that I didn't create these, probably because of the fighting that's happened before. No worries, we'll fix it all up. Beautiful. Oops. Don't worry, I know how to drive. Everything's fine. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Slow down. That's what shields are for, right there. Here we are. Now, it's also great about, like, the little interactables and whatnot on these, at these sites. Like, there are also, like, freight containers. We can actually lug this thing away and be like, hey, we have our own freight container now. We can go do what we want. Or we can just, like, launch it out of foe, you know, whatever. Now, thankfully, we haven't implemented all of the AI into this space station yet to where they're like, what the heck? You just freaking took a canister and launched it into space, you jerk. Go get it. They're not going to require us to do that. But you could be very devious and messing around with various factions in that capacity. Or just blowing stuff up, you know, if that's kind of the way that you like to go about it. Because this is a handcrafted world, that means it's also persistent, so you may even have lasting effects on various stations and factions, depending on the actions you take. What happens if you take a leak in space? Asked Black Coffee Rider. Well, there are plenty of systems in place that are managed for your pilot, puts it into its nice separate pocket, and then ejects it out into space itself. 100% confirmed. You don't have to worry about any P-bar in the game, 100%. So don't even think about it. Can you use the freight container to carry freight? Probably. You guys are fun. I like you. Sounds like you indicate a reputation system. Sounds like it, doesn't it? That would be pretty dope, wouldn't it? Are there plans to show environments of stations, planets like skylines, bars, ship traders? It added lots of immersion to Freelancer. So we will have stations and planets, including skylines, as well as floating cities, as well as in-atmo combat and exploration galore. So you're going to be able to see a lot of environments. In fact, I implore you to look for the latest vlog, which covers environments, in fact, that also offers some concept art of a sort of cloud cityscape, if you will. Very massive pieces that your ship is flying through in this very cloudy region. We are doing a lot of stuff with our environment to keep things fresh and interesting, so you're not just looking out into the void of space. Because honestly, this scene right here, this doesn't feel like too much to me. Yeah, it's maybe a realistic portrayal of space, but like, where's it pulling me towards? What am I doing out here, right? I would much rather look at something like this, which is starting to tell a story, right? Or something like this, right? Where now we can start doing things. We've got places to go, stuff that we want to accomplish and do. We are very passionate about what the game space looks like, not as just a means of eye candy, but also as an incentive to move the gameplay experience forward. So in fact, let's take a look at this site over here as an example. Wait, is that the oh no, over here, excuse me. I went to the wrong junk field. My apologies. This is a good example of this. So we have this little junk field out here with a broken drone, and we're trying to figure out what's going on with it, right? Why is it a broken drone? What's the story that it's trying to tell? So we could procure it for easy loot. And for some reason it's kind of like exploding in the process too. Let's take out this guy, get rid of him, and follow this broken drone through this interesting forms. Trying to see if we can blow it up before it gets to where it's going. Just gonna use this coil gun because I don't want to succeed in my quest intentionally. We'll also shoot this scatter gun at it because why not? Use the pulse laser, it's going to do a lot more damage. And once it reaches its destination, we're going to figure out a little bit more of its story because it's trying to escape. As you can see, there's this cracky wall here that unleashes all of these drones. So you can tell the music got way more dynamic. And now it's calmed back down. Beautiful. And we got a nice little beam laser to boot. We also have these pieces of junk. I'm gonna make sure I can grab this, and we can actually throw this around. Look at that. We could just like start bouncing different debris around. We should have done that actually. That would have been really cool and fun. Look at all these different components moving about to change the space and have the drones probably slam into them. But I wasn't thinking about that at first. Dang, that would have been cool. Maybe next time. Maybe next stream we'll do that. Let's also find out what's in this shipwreck. Take some of that loot. And also let's look at this beam laser. 10% of kinetic damage bypasses the shield. 10% increased damage against armor. And 10% chance to regenerate 20% of whole hit points with each kill. I like that. We're replacing our other weapon. And a coil gun that has 10% increased damage against armor. Pretty standard, pretty basic sort of modifiers. There's a lot more modifiers that are in the works. A lot of what you see here are gonna be repeat modifiers, in fact. But we did get this nice, sweet purple beam laser. It looks nice. So let's go look at this warp gate. I'm sure the warp gate's familiar to veterans of Everspace 1. Let's just check it out. See if there's anything going on there, yeah? Because who knows? Who in the world knows what could possibly happen if we get to go... Oh, hi! Hi there, Outlaw Destroyer. So this is just one of many mini-bosses that the game will offer. He's got these little defense turrets that if we shoot a bunch, you'll actually see will go hiding inside of the ship itself. So you see that? It's actually going inside to repair and regenerate so that he can start firing at us again. So sometimes it's going to be really difficult to get the shots that you want. So I'm going to take out this guy's armor, which you see in the orange there, and now you'll see that the sides of the ship open up. You'll see this orange, where we can do insane amount of damage using this shotgun. In fact, blowing up the entire ship through that weak spot. A lot of weak points galore are going to be happening in the larger vessels, which that one was fairly larger than us, right? It anything too crazy. I'm sure there's plenty of things in the works that will put us in a very meager position when it comes to scale. So we're going to take all that loot, we're going to go back to the space, and then we're going to go out to another location. I'm also going to start answering some more of your questions, because I know you are barraging us with them, and I love it. Thank you all so much for being here for these streams, asking all these questions. For anybody who's only gotten here in the last couple of minutes, hi, welcome. My name is Eric Schrader, Community Ambassador for Rockfish Games. We've reached our Kickstarter goal. Woo! We also are just about, if not have hit our stretch goal, our first stretch goal. So if you want to see more about that, definitely look at Everspace 2's Kickstarter page. Become a supporter if you would like, of course, because you are helping fund this development. Essentially, you become a member of the development, and all of your feedback, all of your criticism, all of your ideas, they're going to prove invaluable. So please get invested in this community. We're already having a really good time, and the Kickstarter hasn't even ended yet. There's like, what, 2 hours left or something? I don't even know. It's getting down to the wire, but oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. So thank you for all the love and support as of this. As of right now, let's see what type of game we can create together. Boom! Will there be humanoid Voltron-like bosses? My goodness, what a specific question. You mean like Gundams and stuff like that? I guess it could be possible. I don't necessarily know if there's anything like that in the works, but I suppose one of the tiers is creating a boss fight. The person who created a boss fight, maybe they heard you, maybe that's what they want, maybe it will be realized. I don't know. Guess we'll have to find out together. That could be interesting. What else we got? Will the story kind of explain where the Outlaws get these big-ass ships all the time? It's very possible, Talon24. It's very possible. I mean, actually, I want to already define where they're getting these big ships and crazy tools already, right? Because from the lore of Everspace 1, what we've already established canonically, right, is that the Outlaw factions were the ones who stayed behind after the Okar colonial conflict to pick up all the scraps. And a lot of the scraps in a demilitarized zone happen to be militarized assets. A lot of the bases that the Outlaws take over through your process of Everspace 1 are decommissioned colonial outposts. This is why the Outlaws appear to be pretty well off and able to operate a lot of very powerful tools. And that's really where the lore comes from. Now, they've had a lot of time to gain new materials, new scraps and tidbits, and maybe even new ships to put into their arsenal. Maybe even different factions have different ships and different powers that other outlaw factions don't yet have. And depending on where you travel and what you uncover, you're going to see that. Because this is a very large, very, very large slice of the demilitarized zone. And a lot can happen that can be different from one side to the other. Mod support after gold status down the road. It's definitely something that has been a point of conversation. I cannot guarantee mod support. I think it would be awesome. I know a lot of you guys think it would be too. Give us some time and we'll see what happens. We will have more conversations about mod support in the future, I guarantee. Guaranteed. What else we got? Wow, sounds awesome! Hey, great. Great! That's great to hear. Shock rifle post sniping. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those snappers are back, by the way. You'll absolutely be able to get those. Maybe even some new tricks to snipe even further ranges. What? We'll have to find out in the future. All right, let's go to our next location. What's our time at? 2:30. Oh, my gosh. I've got 30 more minutes before Geek Bites is actually going to be taken over the stream. That's right, you heard it here. Geekbyte is going to be leading the charge with the last couple of hours of the Kickstarter. So whenever I'm done here, he is going to jump on in and providing just a wonderful good time for all of you, hanging out with us. It'll be good. All right, so we're going to complete this interception here so we don't have to do it. And then we are going to travel to this last unknown location and take out an outlaw base and show you a little bit about what could potentially happen with the permanent effects of your actions. Stretch goal number 1, totally destroyed. Great to hear. Oh, it's not totally destroyed. It's close. I have a feeling we're going to make it. I have a feeling. But that's going to come down to you guys. Because I can't invest in like if I put money into it. Wait, how would that work? If I put money into the Kickstarter, then I get paid. I would be getting my money back. No, it doesn't work like that. But we're getting closer. That's good to hear. Alright, so there's this base. We're going to go destroy it. So this is going to show you a little bit about how interactions work with different factions. To a degree. To a degree. It's just a slight means of showcasing this. Take out this turret. Perfect. This outlaw scout. Excellent, with another cargo unit. And now we have all these different pieces and different parts of this base that are now highlighted orange that we need to take out in order to remove this particular faction from the site. So if we can take out all of these different pieces and parts, maybe we could move into this base? Maybe another faction could move into this base? There are a lot of options here. And maybe, just maybe, if we get crazy enough, and this is real crazy talk, okay? Real crazy talk here. But maybe if we get crazy enough, maybe there'd be some sort of way to destroy this entire asteroid. I don't know. Maybe that could be something that's possible. There's a lot of time in development. There's a lot of ideas circulating. We'll have to see. So in the meantime, we're going to just blast this thing open using this laser beam. Oh, beautiful. Hop. We'll take out this outlaw madcap. Done and done. Let's take the loot. Lots of stuff. I am pleased with the results. So now we can take all this sweet loot over to a local trader. I'm gonna grab all of this stuff though. There's still more stuff. There's stuff flying everywhere. Great. So before we go do that, we're also gonna adventure over to this massive wreckage. And we're going to locate this guy who is stranded out here because somebody blew up his ship. How rude. Is he down here? I forget where he's at. Ah, there you are. So we're going to grab him. And we're going to haul him over to this other base as we kind of flee from these outlaws. Alright, you know what? Hang on, buddy. I gotta take these guys out. They're probably the ones who wrecked your ship. There we go. Oh! This is an outlaw bomber. So we're going to go ahead and take him out completely. We're going to teleport out of the way of his missiles. And we're going to blast him up close and personal with our supercharged weapons. And take his loot. Beautiful. Alright, let's go grab this escape pod now and get him back to home. Woo! Wait, a brand only contains a logo and ship colors? We didn't say that. We never said that. I don't know where you got that information from. That's definitely one distinguishing factor. Will there be a retro graphics mode? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm sure we'll have plenty of little filters by the time the full game gets here. Of course, that'll be for taking screenshots. I don't know. That's hard to say. The teleportation looks awesome. Hey, it's a work in progress. Glad to hear that. Do you like it? Well, you convinced me to actually invest some money into the Kickstarter. Hey, I am not trying to convince you to do anything. I'm just trying to show off what we're working on. Any support that you are willing to throw at us is huge. And we are also looking forward to working with you specifically through the course of development. Any of your contributions, ideas, suggestions, your feedback, that is what's important to us. And if that's something that you want to be a part of, I encourage you to look into it further. So that's awesome. Thank you for becoming a part of this. I'm looking forward to working with you. It'll be good. Be sure to also check out the Discord in that sense, because that's where we like to hang out and talk and make fun of people. It's a good time. It's a really good time. Definitely join us over there. And what else? I was gonna say something else and I forgot, so maybe it wasn't that important. I don't know. But either way, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all your love and support. It's been crazy good. Crazy good. Atari Asteroids filter. Oh my gosh. What in the world, you guys? I like how you're having fun though. That's good. Take out all these things. Oh, we have another outlaw bomb thrower. We could throw some bombs back at him. Give me a bomb. I want to throw it back. Whee! Beautiful. Let's get rid of that bomb entirely. Alright. Let's see what's over at this base. A couple more barrels that we can throw around. Grab this one too. Just because we can. Because it's fun. Can we hit the shipwreck? Let's try again. Pew! There we go. Physics! Alright, let's see what's in the shipwreck. Small arms, energy core. Ooh, a better energy core. I'll take that. Alright. Let's fly back to this base. See what's going on at this site. In this shipwreck we have cooling unit and liquor. Oh, we can't store any liquor? Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's get rid of the common energy core instead. Let's just swap it out. That's fine. Perfect. Up. So now this guy's saying, "Hey! How's my stuff? What are you doing, you jerk?" So now we are having to fend off these guys with a corrosion effect that's slowly whittling away our armor. And that sucks. But that's okay. That wasn't too bad. We can buff out those scratches. So basically we discovered that this guy actually was storing that material in that shipwreck because they were drugs and he was home growing them, and they'll also die if they aren't able to get to a cooling unit in time. So we're going to take them to the space and we're going to sell them here for a little bit of a profit. No big deal. To be honest, I find those bomb throws a bit ridiculous. Okay, that's fine. Will there be wingmen to hire in the full game apart from the story missions? We actually discussed that in one of our previous streams. There will actually be some style of wingmen in the game. It's not something that's going to be super elaborate like wow, I just popped my earbuds out just once with movement. It's not going to be something super elaborate like squad-based like tactics, right? It's like, okay, Alpha 1, I need you to go there. Okay, Bravo 6, I need you to go there. It's not going to be like that style of control, but we'll definitely have companions who will be offering their assistance through various missions and services. So we'll have a lot more to show on that in the future. As of right now in the demo, we don't really have anything to really show for that, but I can guarantee you that very similarly to kind of like Alec in Everspace 1, how he jumps in and joins you, it would be kind of something like that, where it could be like a little squad aiding you, not just you're lonesome out and about in space, but something where you're like taking part in travels with them. So there will be a lot more on that in the future, like I said, but yes. Will Everspace 2 include Easter eggs? Yes. From different space games? Yes. Of course. Of course. We love space games. We love referencing things. It is great. It's a good time. Where do I find the invite for the Discord server? Let me just pop over to this right now. You can actually see the Discord invite link on the screen right there on the left. Discord.gg/rockfishgames. That is the invite link. You type that into your browser. It's going to send you straight to Discord, where you just click on yes, and then all the happy goodness things will happen. You're welcome. Perfect. Geekbite, I do appreciate you dropping the Discord link on Twitch. That question was actually over on Facebook. No worries. Star Fox 64 Wingman. Oh my gosh. That'd actually be pretty cool. Do a barrel roll? I could probably do that. So this is a barrel roll. Unless you were talking about an aileron roll, in which case this is an aileron roll. But a barrel roll is this. They are distinctly different. Peppy Hair lied to you all, okay? Just making sure that you are aware. Spaceballs Easter egg, please? Jan! Oh my gosh. Okay, so did you ever play Everspace 1? Because I snuck in an Easter egg there that I'm most pleased with whenever we were developing hardcore mode. In fact, one of the handicaps of hardcore mode, it takes away the pause menu. So like whenever you would go into your inventory in Everspace 1, it pauses the game so that you can manage everything. I made a handicap where it would not pause the game whenever you'd go to the thing, and it was called We Break for Nobody. Yes? Yes? You're my best friend right now. It's wonderful. I know you get that. I know you get it. It's great. Alright. So I'm kind of freely just floating around in space. I want to take this moment. I want to talk to you guys. Just have a pleasant experience with you all. So what I'm going to do is we are going to jump back over to the Kickstarter page. Maybe we could even do the tutorial again, because we got about 20-ish minutes left. Hey, Matt Buck over on Twitch. How's it going? Ludicrous speed. Ooh, that would be great too. Gotta squeeze in a Galaxy on Fire reference, right? Of course. Of course. Of course. Don't you even worry about that. Perfect. Can you shoot a rocket? I can't shoot a rocket. Watch. Watch! Well, that was a mine. Here's a rocket. Beautiful. Beautiful rockets. Here, let's fight a G&B guy just because we can. Let's get over there a little faster. Oh! That jerk! You guys see that? He's totally warped out. He's like, oh, I don't want any of this. What a punk. Let's go over here. Maybe we can find something over here. Activate cruise drive, please. There we go. Alright, here's a nice healthy G&B fighter. So we're going to shoot him a couple times, take out his shields, and then we're going to launch some missiles. Nice, delightful missile lock-onage. So, like, if you miss your targets... Okay, I really want to miss. There we go. So you see the missile still goes back and finds its target. These missiles are nice and healthy. Beautiful. Taking them all down. Wunderbar. Alright. Also, because we're so close to this planet, I think it's just an optimal time to share, like, you will be able to go to certain planets. You'll be able to navigate down to them. We talked about that earlier in the stream. I just want to put that out there one more time for anyone who missed it. Like, the two locations on this planet, for example, both of those are planetary sites that you can explore. Now, it's not something where it's like, you see a planet, you can fly down to it at any part of it, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of procedural generation. We want to handcraft all of these unique locations that you are venturing out to, okay? All of them. Handcrafted. They're not procedurally generated. So what that means is the locations that you're flying down to a planet, that is also a handcrafted environment. We want to make sure that it's nice and detailed. It gives you a lot of opportunities, gives you exploration bits. It's not just a bunch of the same thing copy pasted over and over surrounding the entire planet. So because of that, you're getting just a chunk of the planet. You're not going to be able to explore the whole thing. Does that make sense? I hope it does. That's how we're going. Excellent. Let's see what else we got in the chat. No, unfortunately, I can't land on the planet. I want to show you that. It's just not available in the Discord itself, unfortunately. Can we be a space trader? If you would like to, yes. Look at you guys. Yeah, it's kind of a bit like Mass Effect exploration in that sense. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Except the space is a bit different than Mass Effect, of course. But yeah, I like that comparison. All right. So yeah, what I think I'm going to do is pause right here. We're going to jump over and just talk about some other stuff's going on. I know that we've shown so many different videos, so many different updates, vlogs, even like content from community. You guys have made some really, really cool videos, pictures, stuff like that. I wanted to dive in because I don't think we actually shared this. Lol hype, where's your video? Goodness gravy. Trying to find it. But one of our really big fans, who's created some really cool videos. Just a lot of hype. It's been a lot of fun watching what he's doing. He actually was the one who created the video that I showed at the very, very, very beginning of the stream. It's Death is Only the Beginning, right? I think that's it. Yes, that's it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump over here, boom, and we're gonna watch this together. This does have spoilers for the original Everspace. So if you haven't played the original Everspace and you want the story in its fullness without things being spoiled, I would implore you to either mute or sneak out right now, but it'll be good. Toxic Discord channel? No. Would you believe we've only banned one person in that entire Discord? I actually am really thrilled with the community that we've established. You guys have been really fun. You've been really engaged. You've asked fantastic questions. You've given a lot of really great feedback already. It has been so much fun. Like, it has been an absolute blast to share that space with you guys and see how we're going to, move forward with things. It's really, really great. So good. All right, so this is a video from LOL Hype. It's very likely that this section of the stream is going to get flagged because of the music that's going to be choosed in it. Like the music you listen to in it. It's going to get cut out. So I'm going to turn up the audio to the maximum amount. We're going to sit back and watch it together. Here we go.
What's my objective?
Reaching your destination.
And where is that?
It's still a long way to go. You will understand more when we get there.
I actually just realized that actually wasn't the video. That was an unlisted video that that LOL Hype shared with me before he actually had the full video done. So the full video actually has a little bit more information in there through the course of the video. So I kind of saved you a little bit of spoiler stuff unintentionally. Whoops. But also, how awesome is that? That's just from a fan. Is that not amazing? Oh my goodness. So LOL Hype, LOL Buy, however you want to be known, to LOL Tulameo, however you would like to be addressed. Thank you so much for your love and support. All of that was from Everspace 1. That was from Everspace 1, and Everspace 2 is looking so much crisper, so much cleaner. I'm excited to see what type of photos and videos you guys are going to be doing. And if you do anything like that, maybe you make like a ship model out of Legos. I don't know. Whatever your creative outlet is, if you do something and you want to showcase it to us, the Discord's the way to go. Who'd have thought? There's a fan art channel. Splurge in there. Show us what you can do. We love that stuff, and absolutely we'll be showcasing on streams like this. It's our pleasure. Like, we're nerds along with you guys. Like, you nerd out, we nerd out. It's a good time forever. It's so good. So good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was made by a fan. That was a fan-made trailer. Oh my gosh. So good. Oh, so I also saw a question in the chat through the course of that video. Somebody was asking, can we play with fire 2 primary weapons at the same time? So I'm actually glad that this video popped up. So these are some blockouts of the gunships where it's currently at. And I wanted to freeze frame right here for one particular reason. Because if you look very closely at the bottom of the ship right there, right where my hand's getting cut off, right there, and then right here. You see those two spots? Those are 2 different primary weapons, folks. It's 2 separate primary weapons. I just want to point that out. I'm not saying that this is final either, because clearly it says early blockouts at the top. But know that we do hear what you're saying. We are looking after you. This community is so ungodly important. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't know how to express that enough. We've had so many naysayers saying, oh, they're doing a Kickstarter. They're going to be Epic Store exclusive because they're going to sell out and all these terrible things are going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Have we let you down? I just want to ask you, have we sold ourselves to the devil? No, the answer is no. Clearly we haven't. And our ears are wide open to ways that we can improve and continue to better this experience for you guys. So you guys are saying, I think it would be awesome to be able to fire 2 primary weapons at once. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But I am going to say that we hear you. And that we are looking at a lot of different opportunities as we move forward with Everspace 2. So thank you for all of the fantastic feedback that you give us. Seriously. Because you guys are the ones who are making all of this possible. Seriously. Amazing. So yeah. Good stuff. All those microtransactions. Oh my gosh, and the sarcasm. I know you're being sarcastic. Actually, really quick snippet. I just want to tell you all this very, very, very good story that several of you know. Also, here's a look at like some of the interior cockpit designs that we're going for, like different ways that you can customize them, stuff like that. But like the whole reason Rockfish Games is Rockfish Games is because Michael Shade, CEO, Rockfish Games, and his cohort in crime, Christian, they were aggressively taken over where they worked at previously. And they'd created these games for mobile called Galaxy on Fire 1 and 2. And because of this aggressive takeover and the instruction of doing microtransactions, a free-to-play model, they didn't want to do that. Like, that wasn't the direction that they wanted to take in, and they said no. And so they lost their jobs in the process. So when they were basically kicked out of their own company, they reformed Rockfish Games. They fought in court for the IP known as Galaxy on Fire and lost it. It's gone. Poof. Taken away. All right? Then from there, they had to reestablish themselves. So they picked key members of their previous studio, hired them back on, and said, we're going to make this game for PC and console. That's the direction we are taking our new line of products. Screw free to play. We never want to deal with it. We like the premium pay model, which is you pay once, you play forever. And through that process, through a crowdfunding campaign, because they literally had no money to work with, whenever they established Rockfish Games, Everspace was born. So we are a company that not only is vehemently in a disagreement with microtransactional models, we also are a company that is entirely funded and supported by our community. This is why I speak so highly of you guys. This is why I know that we're going to be able to work together and make such a fantastic game experience. It's why you see all the love in all of these videos and the Discord and everywhere. Like, you guys are such a powerful and meaningful part of this adventure with us. And anybody who's out there who has been supporting Everspace and or Everspace 2, just thank you. Because we would not exist if it weren't for you guys. Thank you. From the bottom of all of our hearts at Rockfish Games. You guys are the true champions here. So that's why in all of these different aspects and all of the different, like, you know, the controversies that are out there in the gaming industry and the trust issues with developers, like, it's why this all comes so naturally and so easy for us, because we're going to be straight up front with you guys. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the community that we have. We are going to show you as many details as possible, and we're going to be there for a conversation if you're up for one. Like, ask your questions. Let us help you have a better understanding. And if you are still shaky about the Kickstarter, which only has about 2 hours left, continue to barrage your questions. We understand that it can be, you know, it's quite the commitment. And, you know, it's your money that you're putting your mouth to, right? Like, you are becoming a part of the development process. It's not just a pre-order status where you wait for the game to be done. Like, you're invested in this with us. Like, we're making this game together. And so we hope that you will continue to barrage us with questions. You continue to question everything that we do. You continue to come to these live streams where we are going to continue to show you where we're at with the development process and the behind the scenes looks and all of those different things. I know that we'll be continuing a lot of that on Fridays. I think there's also even exclusive backer status to see more of those tidbits if you're interested in all of that stuff. But man, oh, it's great. It's so great. I love having you all here. We did it. I'm still thrilled. I'm still thrilled. You guys are amazing. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, early blockouts, right? It's pretty cool. There are a number of various vlogs, by the way, but I just realized I ran out of time. I'm sure Geekbyte is like, bro, hey, dude, check this out. Geekbyte, it's now your turn to answer fine questions for all of our guests and do your thing. I am going to bid you all a fond farewell. I have been your host, Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for Rockfish Games, serving you guys, because, again, for Rockfish Games, community comes first. Your voice is so powerful, so meaningful to us. I don't know how to say that in any other way, but if you don't believe me with the words I'm saying, just let us show you. Be a part of our Discord. Jump on the bandwagon and continue to ask your questions. We will show you what we're up to, all right? It'll be a really good time, really good adventure. All right, Geekbyte, the floor is yours. You guys don't stop being awesome. I won't stop being Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for Rockfish Games, and I will catch you in the next stream. Toodles!